Good morning, the Vice Chancellor, Principal Officers of the University, the LOC Chairman, staff, invited guests, students of the Admiralty University of Nigeria. I want to thank you for the opportunity given me to make this speech. We already are in a state where research needs to be, upscaled to enhance national development, and without the intervention of different facets of funding, I don't think that we'll be able to take this to the desired heights. So today, thank you for inviting me to talk on the topic from concept to award, navigating the grant landscape for successful research. It's unfortunate that I'm not here, because of this August 1 protest. I had to make this presentation virtually because I thought it was probably wiser, since it was really impossible for me to predict the situation on ground, since I would be coming and traveling all the way from Benin. So I accept my sincerest apologies. So today we'll talk about the aspect of grantsmanship, actually from the beginning, which is the concept and the development of research proposals up through the process where research proposals are approved, and then how research grants are eventually managed. That is what I want to talk about. A little bit about me. I am a professor of ecophysiology and environmental biotechnology at the Department of Plant Biology and Biotechnology, University of Benin. I've had over 20 years experience in research, teaching, and in development, and as well as in community interventions. To the glory of God, I've been able to interact with a great number of students, whether at the postgraduate level or at the undergraduate level. I've graduated over 18 PhD students. Currently, I have about 28 or 30 of them that I've worked with, including the MPhils. So I've also worked with a number of research teams, both locally and internationally. And in this presentation, I'll be sharing with you some of the experiences I've had, either with my students or with colleagues. It's also important to note that I have also acted as a grants reviewer for a number of grant awarding agencies. So I'll just bear some of the experiences I've had. Now, by way of introduction, we need to understand that man requires, right from the word go, 3 basic needs, and these are food, shelter, and clothing. But it is important to state that usually when man does this, he tries to explore or exploit the environment, and in doing this, the environment eventually gets either the worst part of it or the better part of it, because if you get into an area, obviously you want to modify that area, either by first removing the vegetation in that area or whatever you meet there, or probably you might want to leave the vegetation, but also want to modify them. So the way our forefathers used to do that was somehow destructive. Even worse now, after the Industrial Revolution. But today, due to climate action interventions, sustainable biotechnology approaches. We are now beginning to understand the reason why the earth needs to be, the resources in the earth, on the surface of the earth needs to be sustainably and conservatively utilized. You must understand that in trying to drive this, science and technology eventually needs to play a role in this. But with science comes lots of technological breakthroughs. We have been able to go to the moon. We have been able to understand that the Earth is not the only planet. We don't just have planets within these galaxies. We have several other galaxies. Currently, we are also um, uh, utilizing interventions that enable us to manipulate genes for economic benefits. We now have GMOs, thanks to the good job from the current administration. We have been able to um, um, send into farms, to farmers, new genetically modified, safe genetically modified products like telomeres, the BT cotton, and some other. But you must understand that these interventions, uh, biotechnological interventions, scientific interventions, usually will require a huge amount of resources, and these resources are time, money, and space. Now, for space, you remember that to do research, you will need a lab. If that research wouldn't be a lab, then you probably would need to do that research in a field. So space is an important resource for research.